Anticipation is mounting this morning over what the grand jury in the Michael Brown shooting case will decide. The 12-member panel meets again today to consider possible charges for Officer Darren Wilson. He shot and killed the unarmed teenager in August. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is here. Rikki, good morning.
Good morning.
I think the general expectation is that we would have a decision over the weekend. Are you surprised that this has lasted until today?
I am surprised that certainly the anticipation was all of the evidence would be closed on Friday and the grand jury would then vote. What happens usually in a grand jury is that it's simply a question of probable cause. Was there reason to believe that the crime was committed? And it's a yay or nay vote. How many people in the usual grand jury of 23 say yay, there should be a charge? How many say nay? Here in Missouri, and I cannot stress it enough, it is a grand jury of 12 people. 9 must vote. That is a very difficult vote to get.
Does it disturb you that it seems that they're deliberating?
Well, I think that the idea of deliberation in a case like this might be warranted by the amount of evidence they've heard. They've heard as much as a trial jury would ordinarily hear. They've heard all of the evidence by the prosecution, all of the exculpatory evidence from the defense. However, this idea of deliberation is what we expect from a trial jury, not a grand jury. Remember, the trial jury looks at, is it proof beyond a reasonable doubt? In a case like this, if it should go to indictment, that could take days upon days. In a case of indictment, we're looking at a low standard of probable cause. Remember this, however, there is also the question of the Missouri law of a police officer's right to use self-defense and to use defense as an extraordinary power of the police, much stronger than in other states.
Ferguson has been described as a city on edge. Over the weekend, we kept hearing it looks like the grand jury is going to indict. What do you make of all these leaks? What do you think is going on?
Well, I don't think that there are leaks.
That the jury was not going to indict, I'm sorry.
I think that there are no leaks. I think that what's happened is that, unfortunately, there are reporters who get information that they then jump to the conclusion that there are leaks. I don't think anyone knows what is happening within that grand jury room. And the unfortunate part of certain members of the media, as well as outside agitators, is the ginning it up factor. We have no idea what is going on in there beyond deliberation.
That's the reason I didn't ask several questions, was because we really don't know.
We don't know, but there are a variety of charges, Charlie.
Indeed. And what is the significance of the fact that the prosecuting attorney, Mr. McCullough, has promised to seek a court order to release all evidence if Officer Wilson is not indicted?
Well, I find that extraordinary because grand jury proceedings are always secret. The reason that they're secret is to protect the identity of witnesses and all of the process. It's always been that way. On the other side of this, what he's saying is, if there's no indictment, I want to show the community how fair I was. And that's why he's doing it. The court, however, says this: we're not necessarily going to give you this idea that you can give these papers
Do the jurors know that people are watching? Do you think they feel pressure at this point?
How could they not?
I was wondering, do they know?
How could they not? They live in the community. It's pressure all over the country.
They're not sequestered, though.
They are not.
Thank you, Rikki.